The greatest gift to bring is the truth, the perfect present beingness, the proof, restoration from the aloof. This whole world could not substitute. Her loving grandeur fills the room, now heart to commune. So grateful to reintroduce beingness to rave reviews. Within my consciousness with promises of the wondrous. So grateful to bring the truth, beingness so precious. Her love upgraded my status by restoring righteousness. Now each moment is priceless, riches so golden with love's brightness. The greatest gift to bring is the truth, the perfect present beingness is the proof, restoration from the aloof. This whole world could not substitute. Her loving grandeur fills the room, now heart to commune. So grateful to reintroduce beingness to rave reviews. Within my consciousness with promises of the wondrous. So grateful to bring the truth, beingness so precious. Her love upgraded my status by restoring righteousness. The origin of Santa and Rudolph. The holy days may be considered a favorite period of the year, with Christmas sitting at the top. Last year for Holy, the festival of colorful colored powder, I did a video entitled Cosmic Christmas. This video was about the Princess Santa and the sage Risharingas and how destiny provided a fulfilling richness to the overall story. It was foretold to the king of Anga that he would have a daughter who would bring great fortune. Santa, as enunciated in Yoga Vasistha Ramayana, a classic in self-realization, is the enlightened, self-realized one, a narrative given only to her husband. It is well known about the Putra Kamiste Yajna performed by the deer horn sage, while Vishnu, disguised as a sage, presents the queens of Dasaratha, giving them a bowl of param anna, or sweet rice porridge, which they consumed in order to give birth to the four princes. Santa is the adopted daughter of King Lamapada of Anga, and is the biological daughter of the king Dasaratha of Ayodhya. This adoption set in motion the greatness which ended with the birth of Rama, King Dasaratha proceeded with his entourage of ministers to the kingdom of Anga to meet Risharingas Muni and personally place his request. He found sitting beside his friend King Lomapada a radiant Brahmin, resplendent like the ritual fire, sat the peerless Risharingas. The kings greeted each other, where he upheld traditional puja and explained to Risharinga his friendship with the king of Ayahaya. Risharinga too followed his father-in-law in paying his respects to the descendant of the great solar dynasty. Dasaratha stayed for a week as a royal guest, after which he requested of his friend, O Lord of the subjects of Anga, may your daughter Santa come over to my kingdom along with her husband to perform the great deed. Here Santa, being the gift giver, brings the gift. It was agreed by all concerned that Risharingas accede to become Ritwik, which is the chief priest conductor of the sacrificial ritual of the Yagya. Risharinga accepted on the condition that his wife Santa called Ritwik. So here is proof of Santa's state of consciousness, Santa's realized state of consciousness. The couple's spiritual greatness was seen all over. Wherever the sage and Santa went, the place glowed and became filled with their radiance. Inside the palace chambers, when Santa went in to greet the royal women and bestow gifts of finery and perfume, the ladies of the palace were delighted at the homecoming of their daughter. Santa, the embodiment of Mahalakshmi, sublime prosperity. As mentioned earlier, Santa is the biological daughter of King Dasaratha of the kingdom of Ayahaya, the city of no conflict. Also, it is very rare to find texts that acknowledge Santa's presence as co-conductor of the famed Puja Kamesti sacrifice. Among other major events in the life of King Dasaratha is an encounter with none other than Ravana, the Lord of Lanka. As news of Dasaratha's fame spread far and wide, it reached Lanka and made Ravana jealous. Ravana sent messengers to the court of Dasaratha, asking him to accept Ravana and give the right of Lanka to partly control Ayahaya and to pay homage, or else face the prospects of war. Angered, Dasaratha shot off arrows and asked the messengers to return to their homes and find that the gates of Lanka would be locked by the arrows he shot. Humiliated at this defeat, Ravana took an alternative path. He performed severe austerities and received a boon from Brahma that Dasaratha may never be blessed with a male child. Because Ravana, being a renowned spiritual aspirant himself, knew of the possibility of Lord Rama being birthed in the Dasaratha family and was simply trying to avoid the inevitable, like he did in the case of Devi Sita. The first child born to Queen Kausalya was Santa, who was taken ill and under advice of wise men told she would not recover unless she was given away through adoption to one who would love and treat her and bring her up as a sublime child. Upon Santa's adoption by King Lomapada, who was childless, Santa recovered through constant love, service, and care of Lomapada and his queen. It was much later that Dasaratha knew from his ministers of the earlier proclamation how his own daughter, along with her husband, would be instrumental in providing sublime assistance to get his heir and be rid of the so-called curse of Ravana. Risharinga's father, Vidhandaka, is the son of Kasyapa. Yep, Shisha would be Risharinga's uncle. As per legend, a heavenly maiden, Deva Kanaya, called Swamayuki, daughter of Bakadeva, preeminent among the celebrated 12 Dityas or solar deities, who was cursed to live as a dove. When she went to Brahma for relief, she was told she would be free once she gave birth to the son of a sage. That son turned out to be Risharingas. When Vidhandaka experienced a momentary loss of self-restraint, his semen was released into the waters of a lake where the cursed dove happened to be drinking water. It is here mentioned that Risharinga, or in Buddhism, Akshringa, meaning the horned Rishi or the one-horned, respectively, was born of a dove, and so carries with him the myth of the unicorn, the child of great promise, and the reindeer, the one who brought the rain to Anga. The wonder that was Risharingas was endowed with such supreme powers of control over nature that he seemed magical. His sublimity was unquestioned. Meanwhile, in the kingdom of Anga, Santa grew up in a chaste manner, traveling to Yuda Rancha, Himalayas, performing penances. Misfortune struck King Lomapada because in a moment of greed, he deceived a pious Brahmin of his prize and changed a large diamond, which was the Brahmin's due, to a much smaller one. This is reminiscent of King Minos keeping the most beautiful bull and giving the lesser beauty to Poseidon. When the Brahmin came to realize the deception, the whole Brahmin fraternity became annoyed and boycotted all functions of the king. The kingdom suffered because the rain stopped and there was drought. As famine approached, the king panicked and asked for advice of his wise men. He was told that nature can only be turned around by bringing Risharingas to the kingdom. Santa conceived the plan that brought Risharingas and salvation to the kingdom of Anga. The king was overjoyed, and in gratitude for all the goodness and glory that the magical deer-horned one brought with him, he offered Risharingas Santa's hand in marriage and his kingdom to rule with him. Thus was solemnized the marriage of Santa and Risharinga, as if soul, prosperity, had found one's truth, Shakti, or power. It is said that after a child was born to them, They handed the child to King Lomapada to subsequently rule the kingdom, while Santa and Risharingas returned to the forest. There they served Risharinga's old father with great devotion till the sage merged with the infinite. The couple then went south and spent the rest of their lives in sublime contemplation. From ancient times, the Holy Land of India has shone in the spiritual light of illuminated sages and rishikas. Since those times, several women have performed severe penances and are considered on equal footing with their male counterpart, if not beyond. However, the lives of illustrious women have not been as well documented as males. There are some we have heard of, like Sati, Anusuya, Arunhati, Gautami, Ahalaya, etc., but very little is known about their solar capabilities. Only a few rare glimpses are seen here and there. Once in a while, we'll hear of a Savitri, Sukanaya, but why only them when there are so many of them to treasure? A society will not become great unless it has pious women who, through their special kind of wisdom, womb wisdom, form the foundation principle, beingness. Santa was one such unique woman of that era. Santa to Risharinga's soul and truth partnership. Risharingas himself was a special manifestation of the sublime. Every Bhagwat Leela, sublime play, in this universe carries within her deep solar gnosis. These states of supreme consciousness descend onto one as the supreme pure Yusha, awakening to demonstrate the expression of supreme soul, beingness within the individual being. Along with this consciousness, the supreme goddess of love, kissing, the power of love in the form of Indrani, the celestial queen of heaven, and the new mind or new earth, Cheyenne, descends within individuality. The Leela or sublime play presents a complete anthology of the actualized presence, beingness. Interpreted from this viewpoint, Maharishi Risharingas and Devi Santa have a unique and significant place. Bodhisattva and Bodhisattva. Enlightened mind, enlightened pure consciousness. Santa, the embodiment of Mahalakshmi. She is the daughter of Dasaratha and Kausalya. Dasaratha, which means chariot of 10, symbolizes the worldly embodiment or vessel made of 5 elements and 10 principal chakras. Kausalya, or the dexterous one, represents the inherent force or power that skillfully maintains and nurtures the solar being within this embodiment. Prior to the descent of the Supreme Soul in the form of the individual singularity into the chariot vessel of the physical body, the supreme force that imparts the power of pristine soul consciousness to the lover of truth, thus aiding one's descent and subsequent ascent to realize actualization is the singularity, consciousness, illuminated, calm, sublime, supreme. Mahashakti, Santa, the calm, steadfast one. That is why Santa is born as the daughter before the birth of Lord Rama. From the yogic viewpoint, the eternal supreme, manifesting in the form of Rama, represents the descent of the supreme soul within the vessel of the individual soul. Maharisharingas, in the form of Ekalinga, is representative of the supremely liberated singularity. Naturally, one receives Mahashakti in form Santa Shri Santa, symbolizing the wealth of spiritual steadfastness, resulting in union with the sublime. I am beingness, the ideal combination for direct sublime acts. This is why during the Putra Kamesti Yajna, both Risharingas and Santa jointly conducted the sacrifice and invoked the holy fire. This is in order to sublimely embody the Supreme Soul. The purified sacred fire represents the fundamental manifesting element or principles, which emerges as the Paramana, or the blessed food, representing the Amrita, the nectar of sublime life. It was only after consuming this Paramana that Kausalayas conceived the Supreme Being, Rama. Mahashakti, beingness, takes many different forms with different shades for a variety of purposes. To accompany the law, I am's Leela, the goddess of love has to take multiple forms simultaneously. For example, Kissan and Indrani. They manifest different perfected qualities that are necessary to balance the Leela, the sublime play, and movements. Also, this cleaning of the womb, the sublime mind, by a sublime force prior to the birth of an avatara is commonly seen to happen within this realm of consciousness. King Dasaratha was informed that only a woman with great power could manage to bring Risharingas into a family world. According to legend, it was only Santa whose great sacrifice bore King Dasaratha his sons. Now the cultures celebrate Mary, Joseph, and the baby Jesus. But thousands of years ago in India, sublime destiny ordered the steps of Santa, Risharingas, and Rama. Now there is joy in the world as soul, heaven, and nature sing. Mahalo, Mahaloa, Mahamayuri, Mahasanti, Mahaplatinum, Platisai. That kid on little light waves.